Hi everyone, and welcome to Chapter 6 in your book, which is a bonus chapter. We're going to be working from our multimedia files folder that you have at school or that you perhaps downloaded from the book. It was the jump drive that I sent around, and this bonus Chapter 6 is right here if you want to follow along with that. We're going to be working in Premiere and After Effects, so we're going to start in Premiere and do a file open, and we're going to navigate to that spot where our multimedia files are located, the lesson files. For me, that's on my desktop in a folder. There you are, called Multimedia, and go into the Lessons folder and Lesson Chapter 6, and we're going to open this Start 06 folder, and then we're going to rename it Poolside Edit 04. And remember, we're just naming them incrementally as a best practice in case we would need to go back to 03, the one that we worked on last week. It's a safe practice to do this so that you always have a fallback of a good file to go to rather than ruining everything you do. So while that's opening and launching, the next thing we're going to do is go into After Effects. So from here we're going to do the same. We're going to do a File Open Project, and we're going to navigate to the Lesson 6 folder again that's in that Multimedia Files folder. And hopefully we won't have a crash here since I see the beach ball. Alright, so for me it's on the desktop. This is where you have this folder. And again, go into the Lessons folder, Lesson 06, and we are starting the Lesson 6 start file for After Effects Project, AEP. And we're going to open that. And this one we're also going to give, must be converted, okay. This one we're also going to rename incrementally, so when we get that chance to name this one, it's going to be Poolside AE02 when we do get that option. And it didn't pop up with an option like I expected, so I'm going to do a file save as instead. And again, in that Lesson 6 folders where we want that, we're going to call this Poolside AE02. All right. Jumping back over to Premiere, which hopefully has launched and is working. Here we go. We are going to look over in our project panel in Premiere and twirl open the sequence bin if you need to, and we're going to choose and copy our last sequence and do a paste of that. So copy and paste, and then this one we're going to rename incrementally with the 04. And notice that it's not in the sequence folder, so once you've renamed this 04, just drag it up into the sequence folder, and then double click on it to launch it in our timeline. We have two things open in our timeline. They're exactly the same because 04 is just a save as of 03. So let's formally close out 03 here in our timeline. So the only thing that we have currently queued up is our 04 version in Premiere. And from here, we're going to do a file save. And I'm actually going to just twirl this shut, and we are ready to move on. If you're following along in the handout, their step 11 that I have on page 4 here says that if you started with this lesson, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the starting intro motion graphic on the next page, which is what we're going to do. Had we done it the other way, we would have opened our last After Effects file, done a save as, or duplicated it and given it an incremental name. So we're all ready to go. So starting the intro motion graphic is where we're picking up. Since Poolside's music and overall production design are evocative of the early 1980s, we're going to make some motion graphics that also capture that feeling. So we are going to make an introductory motion graphic for the If We Make It documentary, which is what this movie is. We're going to do, again, that dynamic link from Premiere to After Effects. So we're going to start in Premiere, and we're going to ultimately export something into After Effects, work on it there, and it's going to repopulate here in Premiere. So the first thing they want us to do is to take our playhead and snap it ahead to this first track on video 2, which is production ladder MV4, this one right here. Just zooming in so you can see the name of it. So snap your playhead to that. Then we're going to right-click on this clip, and from here we're going to choose Replace with an After Effects composition. And that's going to bring us into After Effects. And in After Effects we're going to see 2 new objects appear in our project panel. So the first one is Poolside Edit 04 linked composition 8, or whatever incremental number yours happens to be. That's the new composition that's ready to go. And then below it we see prod ladder M4V, and that is just the raw video clip. These were automatically brought in, and that new composition is started for us. For simplicity's sake, we're going to rename these compositions. So just click in a blank area of your project panel first to deselect both of those, and then click to select the new composition. Hit return on your keyboard so that it's highlighted and you can give it a better name. And we're going to call this the Poolside Intro, or I'm even going to write intro text because sometimes I think their naming conventions are a little off. Hit enter and that accepts the name. We're going to go down and click on our timeline to select our timeline, and you can see that all we have loaded right now is the raw product, which is this video, M4V. And down here to look at it, we're going to do a RAM preview of this. So remember, if you have a keypad, 0 will work, but it has to be the keypad, not the numbers at the top of your keyboard. If not, Control 0. Or you can always go over here into your panels on the right and choose play. I'm going to do a 0, and we're just going to see it run through what we have so far. It's going to do a preview, and all we see is that video of the video recording being made. So I'm going to hit 0 to get my RAM preview to stop. We have a wide shot that's almost 6 seconds long. This is a good raw clip on which we're going to put our intro title.